Good morning. Was it microphones on? Okay. Well, thank you, my committee, for being here this morning. I know it's lots of conflicts with other committees this morning, but I appreciate you being here. We've got a couple things to do, and we also have an addition to the agenda this morning. We're going to hear Senate Bill 177 from Senator Jones also this morning, added by the chairman. So if we'll start this off, I'd like to ask Representative Helderson to open us with a word of prayer.
Heavenly Father, if you will, just allow us to come to you today. Lord, just want to thank you for all your great blessings. Lord, just allow us to be your example. Lord, I just want to lift up all the farmers in the state facing the cold temps we had, but know that it's in your hand and within your will, you'll take care of it. And Lord, if you will, allow us to come today to do the people's business. Allow us to make decisions knowing that you're guiding us. And Lord, if you will, just be with us within our safe travels. And thank you for all your great blessings. In your name I pray. Amen.
Thank you. And I want to thank all the members of the committee and others in the House for their concern and prayers about the low temperatures weather we had on our peach crop yesterday and strawberries, and I can't wait to get home a little bit this afternoon and check on things. And hopefully, I got my fingers crossed. We got some of a crop left, and so I'm always farmers optimistic. I'm optimistic, and we'll continue on whatever happens. So thank you for that. We've got a couple appointments that we have to make according to state law to commodity commissions, and you see in your packet we've got a couple. We have to do one for equine, and you have a biography and recommendation from the Commodity Commission and Department of Ag for James Lee Kowalski for the equine position. That's a reappointment. He has been serving, and I think that Commodity Commission has been working well. And I would entertain a motion or any other nominations from the floor for that position. I hear a motion, a second. Any other discussion or nominations for equine? So we'll vote for James Lee Kowalski for equine. Commodity Commission, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. We will, from the committee, we'll reappoint him. We also have Buddy Legier, who's a longtime friend of mine from Cordele, pecan and watermelon grower for many, many years, and he, in fact, spearheaded the creation of the Commodity Commission for pecans. So a very involved individual, and glad he wants to do another term. And so I would any other nominations for pecan Commodity Commission? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to reappoint Buddy Legier. And I have a second motion, second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Well, welcome, Buddy, for another term. I think those are our only two appointments that we do, so glad to get that done. Also, fellow member, we'd like to hear H.R. 473 from Representative Victor Anderson. Got a bill, resolution that should be in your packet. LC 550056, and Representative, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee, for showing up early this morning. I appreciate the opportunity to come and talk to you this morning about House Resolution 473. I was approached a couple of months ago by a group, the Georgians for a Safer Tree Industry, asking for help. And the help they were asking for is, if you read through the resolution, you'll kind of understand the state of their industry. It's a very robust industry in the state of Georgia, as well as other states. However, it is an industry that has very minimal standards. There's no specific requirements. Pretty much, we're talking about tree care. We're talking about trimming trees. We're talking about pruning, arborists, that sort of thing. If you have a truck and a chainsaw, you can call yourself a tree trimmer. And there's no other stipulations or requirements for that. When I discuss this with them, I'm a businessman. I'm a businessman that works subcontractors through my business. I understand what it means to deal with an individual or a company that may or may not have insurance, may or may not have workers' comp, may or may not have the skills and the talents that I need to do the job that I need done. When I have situations at my home where I need trees trimmed, I need some trees cut that have fallen over and gotten out of the way, the part of that I can do myself and I feel like I can do safely, I do. But there are times when I have to hire somebody to come in, and I am trusting their representation as a professional in that industry, that they know what they're doing, that they can take care of themselves, they can take care of the project at hand, and that they can also cover any unforeseen circumstances that happen. It's not the case in this industry. As I say, the only requirement is a pickup truck and a chainsaw. And we have a lot of people that are in this industry at a small level, and a lot of people that are in it at a large level. Again, looking at this, trying to decide, is this something that I want to put my time and effort, the short time and effort that I have down here into? I made some phone calls. I called a good friend of mine back home who has been in this industry for decades. He built a very large business, sold portions of his business off, but he is still in the tree service industry. And Don, my friend, is a libertarian. He does not believe in government involvement. He believes in minimal licensure, minimal requirements, minimal fingers from our government in our business. But he did tell me on the phone, when we were discussing this matter, he said, Victor, if there's anything that I know of that needs help, it's our industry. And then I go to a 2020 study that OSHA did, which said that the tree care industry in the United States is one of the most dangerous industries there is. The fatality rate in this industry is 1 out of 1,000. The average fatality rate across all workers in the United States is 3.5 out of 100,000. So this is 30 times more dangerous than any other trade out there that we're dealing with on average. We also deal with a situation, as I mentioned earlier, about not only having the skills and the safety practices, but also consumer protection. If you have somebody come that identifies himself as a tree trimmer to your house, and something goes wrong, a tree, a limb, or whatever falls on part of your house, or heaven forbid, actually injures someone, does that person have the proper insurance? Do they have the capability of covering those expenses? There are no requirements. There are no state requirements. There's no industry standard requirements. There are recommendations. So with all that said, I'm bringing to you this morning House Resolution 473. Let me tell you what this is not. This is not a request for additional regulation. This is not a request for additional licensure. What this is a request for a study committee to help this industry figure out how to lessen that 1 in 1,000 fatality rate, how they can protect the consumers. I've included, and should be in the information that we have for you this morning, should look something similar to this, an article. When I was just a couple of days after I had a discussion with the folks from this industry, this article came across in my local news feed about a gentleman who was trimming trees on a vacant lot in North Habersham County, who injured himself and basically was unconscious 20 feet high in a tree. He was rescued, but he eventually died from those injuries. I stand here right now able to name 3 to 4 people in my local community who have either perished or had life-altering injuries and were doing this trade. They identify themselves as tree trimmers. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I'd be glad to answer any questions. The resolution does ask for a study committee out of session in order to get the appropriate parties together, identify the problems, try to figure out how to save people's lives and protect the consumers in Georgia.
Thank you, Representative. Are there questions from the committee for the author of this resolution? I realize it is a dangerous industry, something we deal with every day, and appreciate your concern for that. I really see no questions here from the committee. This is first hearing on this resolution, so thank you for that. And if anybody has any questions, I know they'll get with you after this meeting. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. I hope that the committee will have favorable consideration for this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Committee, I overlooked one other appointment that we need to make to the propane commodity commission. And in your packet, you have a resume for Jonathan Hurd, Chief Operating Officer for Mark Hurd Fuel Company, for our propane commission. Are there any other nominations from the floor for this? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion for Jonathan Hurd to be appointed. I have a motion second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of Jonathan Hurd say aye. Opposed? Jonathan Hurd will be reappointed by this committee. I've also, next order of business, I have added another hearing for SB 177 that we heard at our last meeting. Senator Jones, would you want to come up and just give us an overview again of your intent? Just a quick overview, and then I'm going to present a substitute for this bill. I think we're passing out, and I'm glad to have David Hartman back for our committee help this morning. I know the Senate Research and Office and Budget Office is busy juggling lots of responsibilities and commitments, and I thank David for being here this morning, and also my staff in our office for getting this substitute and bill done at the last minute. So Senator, give the committee a brief little overview of what you're trying to do, the issue and the problem, and then I'll present this substitute bill, which just makes some changes to your bill. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, this bill comes from a study committee that was done in 2021 on food insecurity. And as I've mentioned before, one of the things we learned with food insecurity is it has different layers, it has different levels that actually impact food insecurity. And so therefore what we were proposing was, because you have so many different levels and different impacts, we're actually proposing to create a food policy council to deal with the issue of food insecurity, to actually look at those different issues that may crop up. Some of those being regulatory issues, some issues may be as far as transportation, some of those issues may be concerning senior hunger. So there's just various issues with food insecurity that are out there, and it's difficult necessarily to say that you can just do one size fits all or do one quick bill. And so that's why I was proposing this Food Policy Council to give us recommendations to the legislature. And I do want to thank you for all your support or your input into this particular legislation. It means a lot, and hopefully we continue to go forward.
Thank you, Senator. And I know this committee, several on this committee has expressed the same concerns that you have for food insecurity and food availability and that sort of thing. And I know you've mentioned the study committee you had, and this is a result of that. And I know you presented this bill last year, I
Yes,
believe,
sir.
as well. So thank you for your determination and persistence on this. So if you would turn to substitute to 177 LC 550087S, I'll walk us through the changes here for the committee. If you want to go to line 23, 23, we've changed slightly the definition of food insecurity to make it a financial, economic and financial resources there. A change on line 23, and in line 25, SNAP. It is the federally funded supplemental nutrition assistance program. We've eliminated Georgia Grown Farm Food Bank program there. That didn't need to be there. Line 39, grocery store operators instead of owners there. If you go to, we keep going, the numbers are probably going to change here. If we go to, I'm sorry, I don't have the new copy marked up. So on, where am I here? Food insecurity. We made some changes over line 47, policies where farmers markets may accept SNAP benefits. And we're really from line 40 down, it's recommend. This council will do more recommending to develop additional programs on purchasing and consuming healthy foods. Recommend policies, collaboration between the state of Georgia and nonprofits, and so some of that. And then we actually get down to what the council shall be consisted of, and we're going to 15 members. We have Commissioner of Ag, Department of Human Services, did away with Department of Labor, have school superintendent, governor appointing 4 members. Some of those type changes. A grocery store operator who accepts SNAP and WIC programs. We thought that was important. We got a Georgia farmer. We got a food bank, CEO of food bank. Chamber of Commerce people from rural and urban areas, a local person from a local community farmers market on here, as well as we can get more healthy food into those type places. The council members shall receive no salary. Meetings shall be not fewer than 2 times instead of 4. And then actually placed a sunset 2026 on this. So we will incorporate this council for a few years, see the outcome, and hopefully if things are going great, we could extend it at that time if it's showing great benefit, which I hope it does. The only other little caveat here is Commissioner Harper is not here, and he is really taking on a lot of new roles over at the department and responsibilities. I've tried to take this off of him as much as I can. We will try to figure out a way with the commissioner to house this thing at Department of Ag, and I think with the changes we made to this bill, I think it really minimizes his involvement with it, and I think he can facilitate a couple of meetings if this bill were to pass, and let the council pretty much run things as they see fit. So I think it'll work. I feel good about the substitute, and so that's that. I'd like to entertain any questions from the committee about the changes, about the substitute. I'll open that up to the floor now. Who is Representative Vance?
Yes, sir. Chairman, would it be appropriate to adopt this substitute this morning to move it forward?
Thank you for that. I'd like to move that this morning at the appropriate time. Representative, I think Bennett, have you got a question? Okay. If there's no questions and it's the wish of the committee, I think the appropriate action now would be a motion to approve SB 177 would be the first, and then we can approve that, get a motion and a second for Senate Bill 177 would be the first motion. Representative Vance, we have a motion and a second for approval, and so I would like to, at this time, substitute LC 550087S. So I have a motion for that. Second. Any discussion? All in favor for substitute SB 177, say aye. Opposed? So motion passes. So now we need we've already got a motion and a second to pass SB 177. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Senator, SB 177 with the substitute passes committee. So thank you for your work on this. Thank you for cooperating with me, and
Thank you,
I think
Mr.
we
Chairman.
got
We appreciate it.
a
Thank
good
you.
bill that we can move forward. So
Thank you very much. I appreciate all your work.
thank you, committee. I have no other business. Has anyone got any other business come forward the committee? Thank you for being here this morning. Meeting adjourned.